Welcome to day 3 of Carl Jung's guided meditation series. Today, we encounter what Jung considered the essential first stage of individuation, meeting your shadow. Jung wrote, "Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is." He discovered that until we face our shadow, we project it onto others, seeing in them what we refuse to see in ourselves. In a letter to a patient in 1935, Jung explained, "The shadow is simply the dark side of someone's personality, and what is dark is always known only indirectly through projection. The shadow is that hidden, repressed, for the most part inferior and guilt-laden personality." But here's what most people miss. Jung also said, "In the shadow is the gold." Our rejected aspects often contain our greatest untapped potential. Today's encounter is based on Jung's own shadow work from 1913 to 1917 and his refined clinical approach. He warned, "The meeting with the shadow is the apprentice piece in the individual's development, a moral effort beyond the ordinary. This meditation is music-free, so you can experience the silence fully, or add your own sacred sound if you wish." Let's begin this crucial work. Close your eyes and take 3 conscious breaths. Feel yourself withdrawing from the external world, entering what Jung called the symbolic attitude. Find yourself at the forest edge. Walk the familiar spiral path to your temenos. Notice, the path may look different today. Jung observed that approaching shadow work often darkens the inner landscape. This is normal, even expected. Enter your sacred structure and sit in your established place. Touch your heart and affirm, "I am ready to meet what I have rejected in myself. I approach with courage and compassion." Look for the doorway leading down. Today, it may appear darker, more forbidding. The unconscious knows what's coming. Before descending, Jung recommended this preparation. "I go to meet my shadow not as enemy, but as teacher. What I have rejected is still part of me." Begin your descent. Count your steps if that helps maintain consciousness. As you go deeper today, notice the quality of resistance. Jung said, "The ego fights hardest against meeting the shadow. It represents everything the ego has worked to not be." The underground landscape appears, but today it has a different quality. Shadows seem deeper. The atmosphere is heavier. You're entering what Jung called the realm of the repressed. As you walk through this landscape, begin to notice movement in your peripheral vision. shadows that shift when you're not looking directly. This is the shadow beginning to constellate, to gather itself for meeting. Find a place to stand and wait. Jung discovered that calling the shadow rarely works. It must choose to appear. Stand firmly and speak these words internally. Shadow of my being, aspect of myself I have denied, I invite you to show yourself. I promise to look upon you without running away. Wait in stillness. Jung sometimes waited for what felt like hours in active imagination. Then, you sense it, a presence approaching from behind or from the side. The shadow rarely appears directly at first. Resist the urge to turn quickly. Let it approach. You might feel uncomfortable emotions arising: shame, fear, anger, disgust. Jung said, "These emotions are the guardians of the shadow. They've kept it hidden all these years." When you feel ready, slowly turn to face your shadow. What do you see? Jung's patients reported many forms: a dark version of themselves, an animal representing repressed instincts, a figure embodying rejected qualities, sometimes just a dark mass or presence. Whatever appears, breathe deeply and really look. As Jung instructed, the first victory is simply not running away. Notice the details. How does your shadow stand? What expression does it carry? What age does it appear to be? Often, Jung noted, the shadow appears the age we were when we first rejected these aspects of ourselves. Now comes Jung's crucial instruction: do not judge, do not analyze, simply witness. The shadow has waited perhaps your whole life for this moment of recognition. If it feels safe, take one step toward your shadow. Watch how it responds. Does it step back, stand firm, move closer? This tells you about your current relationship. When the distance feels right, ask Jung's essential question: what do you have to tell me? Listen. The shadow might speak in words, images, memories, or feelings. Common messages Jung's patients reported: "You left me behind. I carry your strength, anger, passion. I've been protecting you. I'm tired of hiding." Let your shadow speak without interrupting. Jung emphasized, the shadow has been silenced for so long, it needs to be heard fully. If your shadow shows you memories or qualities you rejected, simply witness them. You might see times you chose to be good over being authentic, nice over being real, acceptable over being whole. After your shadow has spoken, you may respond. Jung suggested starting with, "I see you, I hear you, you are part of me." Notice how your shadow responds to recognition. This is the crucial moment. Jung discovered that intellectual recognition isn't enough. There must be a movement toward integration. Ask your shadow, how can we work together? Or, what do you need from me? Listen to the response. The shadow might ask for expression in safe ways, recognition of its gifts, integration into daily life, an end to projection onto others. Jung wrote, "The shadow becomes hostile only when it is ignored or misunderstood." Now, make a specific commitment to your shadow. Perhaps, I will listen to your anger before judging it. I will let you teach me about my power. I will stop projecting you onto others. See if your shadow will make an agreement with you in return. Jung found that shadows often agree to support rather than sabotage when genuinely included. Thank your shadow for appearing. Jung said, gratitude toward the shadow begins its transformation. As you prepare to leave, notice, does your shadow want to shake hands, embrace, or simply acknowledge each other? Follow what feels authentic. Some shadows integrate quickly, others need many meetings. Turn and begin your journey back through the underground landscape. Notice how it might already look different. When shadow work begins, Jung observed, the whole inner world starts to shift. Climb back to your temenos, emerge into your sacred space and sit. Place your hands on your heart and speak, I have met my shadow. I am more whole than when I descended. What was split is beginning to unite. See your inner journal and watch today's encounter inscribe itself in images and words. Before returning to ordinary consciousness, Jung insisted on this protection. The shadow's energy must be channeled, not released chaotically. Imagine a golden thread connecting you to your shadow, allowing communication but maintaining appropriate boundaries. You are not your shadow, but it is part of your wholeness. Rise and exit your sacred structure. Walk the spiral path back through the forest. With each step, carry the awareness. I am becoming more complete. Emerge from the forest. Take 3 grounding breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When ready, open your eyes. Immediately record your experience. What form did your shadow take? What did it say? What did you commit to? Jung said, shadow work is ongoing. Today was not the end, but the beginning of a new relationship. Watch your outer life carefully in coming days. Jung noted, when we begin shadow work, we often notice we judge others less, project less, and feel more authentic power. Tomorrow, we meet another crucial figure, your anima or animus, the bridge to the deeper unconscious. But tonight, honor the courage it took to face your shadow. As Jung wrote, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. You've done sacred work today.